What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I wanted to break down what's going on with the Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the option chain for SPY and give you guys a very quick update about the price action. But let me first say that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500 into the account, you are guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 free stocks. The offer ends very soon. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening to the market. Looking at SPY, this is holding up nicely so far, in my opinion. We got this very nice pump to about this 510 area, right? We hit 510, it's very tight resistance. Then SPY came down, grabbed liquidity at 507. Then it bounced off that. Now we're trying to get back towards 509. So this is pretty good so far. It's actually holding up quite nicely. We did get this rejection at first. We did get this drop. And we talked about the tough resistance at 510. We talked about 508.5, and then we also talked about this 507 range. If we lost, then that's exactly where SPY bounced off of. Now it's back above 508.5, trying to hold that as support. We're going to be watching to see if this thing could try to continue a little bit higher. So this is what it looks like on the 30 minutes time frame. We're trying to hold above our 20 EMA, acting as support. It's currently at 508.23, by the way, so I just wanted to call that out. This is like the support EMA right now. And I think that as long as we hold above this, there is potential for this thing to try to make an attempt to get back towards 510, if not a little bit higher. But we have to see it try to break 509 first. So the levels are very tight on SPY. If it breaks 509, watch for an attempt to try to get to 510 and then eventually 511. That's going to be my next target around that range. If it loses 508.23, watch for it to sink towards the 507.5 area again. As of right now, it's kind of curling, showing some life, and we have these long wicks here, which shows that they're grabbing liquidity for an attempt for the opposite direction, which means there's a very good chance it might consolidate for a bit, and it might start to push a little higher as time goes on. So watch and see if we can try to get that break. Now, I also want to call out that if you look at the options chain right now, this is an updated version. We're seeing a big change in the development. We're seeing a lot of people who are trying to short SPY again. Max pain is at 500. We have a 2.48 put to call ratio now. People are continually shorting SPY, shorting SPY intraday over and over again. We have over 900,000 puts expiring, and we still have just under about 380,000 of them. So it's pretty crazy, pretty crazy stuff. Lots and lots of shorting is continuing to go on. We'll see how this affects SPY. We're starting to consolidate right now in the 508 area, but there is potential for it to try to push higher. We'll see if we can break 509. So watch and see if that ends up happening. Market makers could continue to squeeze shorts, but right now they're in a very, very good advantageous area. For the triple Q, it's the same thing as SPY. You could see how liquidity is being moved here. They pushed it up, broke above this 440 area, brought it back down. It just came under, just a little bit under 436 SR support before it came back up. And it's just continuing to trade sideways. I also called out this 437.05 area as a very minor support. That's where we bounced off of. And we're just trading sideways around 438. Now, when we zoom out of the chart like this, right? When we zoom out, you guys can see it's been breaking these highs, looking relatively strong. It's holding up very nicely in this consolidation phase. So we'll see how it reacts to 438. If we do break above this, we could be looking for another attempts to get back to 440 or even a little higher. But if we fail to do so, we just continue to consolidate, and I think we're just going to remain range bound for the rest of the day. So do we consolidate to end the day, or do we get one more attempt to push? We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if we could try to hold above 438 first. If we do so, look for an attempt to go higher. I do think it's still possible, so just be very careful. What else is dictating this is the one and only Nvda stock. Nvda did lose 800 temporarily, but now it's showing life in an attempt to try to get back up. So it came down to about 776. That's the level we had called out almost exactly. Came back up to 800. Now it's kind of trading sideways. If we could break this 800, watch 807, 812, and etc. And we'll just have to see if Nvidia could get there. We're still at 797, so it's not that bad. It's holding up quite nicely. Let's see if we could try to get back above 800. We'll see how Nvidia does. And this could help the market by the end of the day, as we have about 2 hours of trading left. So far, so good from Nvidia. We're just consolidating just under 800, and we'll see if we can try to break above this. So far, so good. For Tesla stock, this was looking relatively weak. Why? Lots of bad news. There's the news about the recall, news about bad things happening in Sweden. The list goes on. But the thing worth knowing about Tesla is that we have a range. Last couple of days, we have this resistance zone at this 98 to 200 area essentially, but mainly around 98. we have support where Tesla's bouncing off of around 191.3 to about 192.5. Today it hit 192.5. We're almost there now. It's trying to hold up. So it's kind of just range bound. It's been stuck in this range for quite a couple of days. And now it's looking like it's continuing to just get tighter. So I think that Tesla could hover around this 192 to 193 area for some time. At the end of the day, there might be an attempt. If the market does try to rebound, we could see Tesla try to get closer to 195 before it tries to get back up, just temporarily. And we'll see how it does. But I do think that Tesla is kind of like in this range, might try to push up a little bit more at the very end of the day. Watch 195 as resistance, 198 above that if we end up breaking that. Otherwise, it's just going to consolidate. So that's all I'm really seeing. Not a whole lot for today, but there could be one attempt to bounce towards the end of the day. So watch for that. And then last but not least, we have Apple stock. Apple is looking pretty interesting. We're going to be watching 182.5, almost the exact level we called out. Look at how it went up to about the 185 area between these two resistance zones. It came right back down to 182.5. If it loses this, watch 181.36 and 180. Watch resistance at 183.5. This is forming kind of like a cup, so watch that very carefully. This could even be developing a kind of like an inverse head and shoulders. So we have this like left shoulder here, the head, maybe right shoulder forming. So we'll see. So far, so good from Apple. There's nothing wrong with this, and it's still holding up okay. It's not the end of the world. So we'll see how it does. But if anything, it might continue to consolidate at 182.5. We'll see if we bounce at the end of the day. Otherwise, we're just stuck in range bound. That's it for now. SPY is continuing to consolidate. Still watching the 20 EMA as support. Let's call out a couple more for ARM. Hold on one second. ARM is just consolidating as well at this 133.43 zone. And we have resistance at 135 and 136. We're just trading sideways for now, so we'll see how it does. For Super Micro, it's coming down a little bit. I just want to call out we have support right now at 844 and 824, followed by 800, whereas we have resistance around basically very close to about 880, 890, and then 900. Otherwise, it's just kind of consolidating as well within this range. Not a whole lot's going on with it yet, but if Nvidia gets a push at the end of the day, we could see this get closer to 900 if we get that push. Russell 2000, our prediction came true. It was consolidating for a bit, but then we finally got that break to 201. So it finally got the push. We were talking about this earlier. That's a pretty good sign. We could get closer to 202.5 if we break this. If we fail to break it, watch it retest 200.5. But overall, it is still looking bullish, finally showing some life. So let's hope this continues. And then we also have just a few more. Coinbase looking kind of weak. Watch support at the 200 EMA, 165.65. See if that holds or not. For Google, it's just consolidating, trading sideways right now. It's still above its key EMA, so that's a good sign. Let's just see if it closes here. If it does, it'll have more potential. It'll have more potential for next week. Meta, kind of flat right now. We'll see how it reacts. It could actually test 484 before it tries to bounce, so watch for that. And for Amazon, we're currently testing 174. If we do lose this, watch 173.26. If we hold this, it might just continue to trade sideways, which is most likely what's going to happen. It's just trading sideways right now. So a lot of consolidation, a lot of sideways price action, but SPY of all things does have some potential to try to rebound a little bit if we could get this bounce. So we'll have to wait and see. With that being said, guys, watch the market continue to consolidate and see if we get a break above our resistance to push higher. Otherwise, we're just going to be waiting to see how it goes. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Be patient, watch your levels. Don't forget that there's also a downside target if SPY loses this support. I called out the downside target and the upside target, but I do favor that's going to either consolidate or maybe even try to bounce a little bit towards the end of the day. So we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you for listening. Have a good one and peace out.